Hi, folks. Thanks for checking out Chat with Champions, and we are delighted today to welcome a truly hero on two wheels. That is Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing's Eli Tomac, who has just completed the year of his career, winning both Monster Energy Supercross and the AMA Pro Outdoor Motocross Championship. Eli, thanks for your time. When you hear me say those words, have you afforded yourself some time to reflect and say, yeah, that was a pretty good year?
It was the best year I've had, period, in my racing career. And each series was very unique in itself. I mean, in Supercross, right, the question coming in is like, hey, can I get this done on the new motorcycle and the new team? Was this the right step to take? And obviously totally ended up working out. And then going into motocross, I actually started the season a little bit slow. I had my knee injury I was kind of dealing with on round one. And also working on setup by that point, or trying to get the bike ready in the right spot. But we were able to pull all those things together and everything went our way. Sometimes in racing, things just have to go your way, and it totally did for us. And then capping off the year with Motocross of Nations victory. Yeah, so it was a very special year.
Quite often we lean on our friend and colleague, the GOAT, Ricky Carmichael, to talk about, and it was in particular about you because of his history with changing manufacturers and teams, and not only doing that, but doing it successfully. And that's what you've been able to do. Now that we can look back, you've been able to execute that. So there's one thing of having the courage of conviction, but then seeing it through. And you did that. So how proud of you for that accomplishment and everything that you took on when you didn't really need to.
Yeah, and it was just, I was at the point of my career where I thought it was worth the risk. And it was an educated risk or gamble, if you want to call it that. And that's what we went with. And now we're going into the season again with another new platform, which is the new YZ 450. So there's some unknown there, but I think it's going to be good, and we'll just try to repeat that again.
For whomever is watching this, whether they be young, aspiring, moto riders, or they could be an older generation, in your mind, what makes a good champion? What makes a champion?
Well, what makes a champion in my mind is be able to just get through the adversity and always be up for the challenge, and being able to conquer those challenges ahead that you have, no matter what it is or what sport you're in, and trying to just better your competitors, period. Trying to be the next step up, and fighting through those battles if you have them, not getting beat down throughout the season. Our season is very grueling. We get 1 weekend off out of the 17 rounds. So it's just a long, grueling season, and you have to train your mindset for that duration.
I know that you enjoy some four-wheel driving. We can talk about that another time, but I want to use a car racer analogy, and that is now two-time IndyCar Series champion Will Power. He was asked, how did you almost seem like you reinvented yourself this year. What was the difference? And he said, I went out each weekend telling myself that it would be okay not to win every single race, whereas I used to drive myself crazy trying to win every race. Mm-hmm. Did you do something different this year?
It's hard to say. As in general, I feel like I was just a better racer, and can't really pin exactly what that is, but just sitting on the line, I felt like I had a better mindset, more of a calm mindset for me, that ended up being or resulting in a better finish. So I guess having your emotions under control and your mindset in the right spot, for me, it was a huge deal. And that was just the product of everything being in the right spot, whether it's myself physically, the motorcycle working, doing things, and I know where the bike's going to react and what it's going to do. And when you have all those things in the right spot, mentally, it is easier when you're lining up on the gate.
Looking at both your Monster Energy Supercross and then your outdoor season, there was fabulous consistency right across the board. So that leads into where we're heading to in 2023 with the inaugural season of the SuperMotocross World Championship. 17 rounds of Supercross, 11 rounds of outdoor motocross, followed by 3 playoff races. When you first saw this format, when you heard about it, did you say, that's right up my alley?
Well, it's just a good step forward for the sport in general. For me personally, it doesn't matter for me this year because I'm only signed up for Supercross racing. So people should know that. And in general, though, it just, I think it's cool because there's growth there for the sport. There's growth for a few more races and new events and prize money for the racers. So it'll be something new and spicy for us for sure.
So you complete the Monster Energy Supercross season, but then there's 3 playoff races after the outdoor season. You're in the top 20, you're guaranteed a seated spot. So do we see you in those playoff races to go for the overall on those hybrid tracks, which you do so well at?
Yeah. I wish I could say yes right now, but more than likely it's a no for now. Yeah.
Let's say a TBD. How about we go with that?
Yeah. All right, let's leave it as TBD.
Are you impressed with your team, with Monster Energy, Yamaha Star Racing? Because kind of like you, even though they may have done it a season before you, but just this tremendous transition from California to Florida, just a massive overhaul, a massive undertaking by everybody to transform the team. And last couple of seasons outdoor have been amazing. You get the 450 crown in both championships. Your teammate Dylan Francis got the outdoor championship the year prior. I mean, they're on a real roll at the moment.
They are, and that's because they're very active in making changes, and just doing the right things, period. There's not much red tape for our team, so we can go out and try stuff if we need to. And they make sure that the team environment and vibe is right, so consciously, it's just a good feel around the team. And the management plugs in the right people in the right spots. And, I think that gives us those good results.
Considering the way that we started this interview, where you said it's my best year ever, period.
Yeah.
Some people might say, why come back?
What's that? Sorry.
Some people might say, why come back? If you've ended at your career high, why continue?
Well, winning never really gets old. So, and I want to keep doing it for at least one more season of Supercross. So that's where I'm at. And when I originally signed this Monster Energy Yamaha contract, it at the time it was a 1-year deal. And I did think that was going to be it, but I had fun doing it. So I signed up another year.
So speaking of another year, and given the form that you're in, I have heard you say multiple times before that when you were a kid growing up and you look up to the Jeremy McGraths and the Ricky Carmichaels and the Chad Reeds and the James Stewarts, well, now you're living in that rarefied era as far as career wins are concerned, and especially with Monster Energy Supercross, which will be your focus for the next season. So, you level with Chad, you go ahead of Chad, you maybe go ahead of Ricky Carmichael. What does that represent? What does that mean?
Well, it's just your childhood, ambitions and goals and dreams coming true. And I never really thought your dream is to get here, but for it to actually happen is a whole different deal. So, but I just do my thing and we'll see how it ends up. But very grateful for everyone that's been involved with my program up to this point. And it's cool to be in that realm of guys,
And with that being said, where you grew up looking at them, now there's not exactly that you're an old guy, but now there's a new generation of people looking at you in that same way. What do you make of the next crop of young guys coming through? So Jet Lawrence, more than likely, we'll see on a 450 in outdoors later in the year, but another season on 250s. But you've got Chase Sexton, who you had that marvelous scrap with, this year in outdoors. Colt Nichols is stepping up to the Honda team. Christian Craig, who you know so well, stepping up. And Christian's got some years under his belt, but there's other guys coming at you. So what do you make of that for this year?
As always, you don't know who's going to be the man or your strongest competition preseason. So I never want to underestimate any of my competition. There's going to be the guys that were there. There's going to be some new ones involved. And once again, the 450 class has amazing talent. And it seems like every single year we just keep building the depth of the field. It's set. It is set every year, but it is true, and it keeps getting stronger. The field, in my opinion, gets more consistent. So we have a great group of guys lining up.
Good. Well, enjoy the holidays. Thanks so much for your time. Have you started dreaming about A1 yet?
Oh yeah. It's for me it's come around really quick, but that's a good thing. I totally enjoyed 2022, all the racing with it, and all of a sudden Anaheim 1's here again, so I'm excited to get it going.
Well, Eli, let's finish the way we started. Congrats on the best season you've ever had. Well done, mate.
All right, thank you.